Good. Hi, everybody. It's DocTalk. You know where we are now? We are mid-March, coming up on St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. And I have green on today. So we had a meeting, and it's time to be celebrating, and it's time to celebrate spring. Here's a timely topic for you. It is travel season, and many people have been hunkered down this winter. And in places like where I am, the visitors have arrived. We're going to talk about travel safety, and we're going to talk about heat. So here is the situation this morning. My son is a battalion chief and has a working fire this morning. And what I always remember about a Midwest and warm weather arriving early, it is very, very difficult to acclimate yourself. That's the term we use. Acclimate yourself to warm weather that comes after a long period of cold weather, and to be able to go outside and start doing warm weather work. And up there, the warm weather arriving has brought with it a couple things: storms. The grasses and the greenery is beginning to bloom. People are thinking about doing outside work. Warm temperatures have arrived, and they're going to be coming in boluses as always. And then people are going to be going to warm places. And Florida is getting a lot. And I personally am dealing with a lot of people who have come down here and gotten sick. And the sickness is mostly too much sun, too much fun, too little to drink, not being prepared. So here is our travel tips and tips for getting through an early spring in the United States. First of all, your body acclimates in the winter by trying to absorb more water, but in fact, you're peeing it out. Cold weather causes you to lose fluid, and therefore, when you need that extra fluid, it's not available. So if you are suddenly doing any kind of work, and let's say in public safety, we have a day where you're outside in warm conditions and having to do heavy work, you need to have extra fluids aboard. Unfortunately, your body has gotten rid of them, and still on cool nights, when your body gets exposed to that colder air, you lose extra fluids. And that is one of the components of acclimation that occurs without you even realizing it. What it means for you is you need extra fluids aboard if you're going to be doing outdoor work. And in some way, you need extra calories that keep the fluids within your system. So this time of the year, if there's a chance that you're caught outside doing extra work, make sure that you have extra fluids and make every attempt to keep those fluids going in. Recognizing that at night still, and when you're in the cooler air, it's still getting rid of them because that's the time of the year. We've just undergone the time change. And like many of you, I'm still on the old time frame. And I still don't want to get up in the morning because I still should be in bed. So this is a particularly tough week. Number two, many of you are going to climb into places and to go to somewhere warmer. How do you prepare for that? I got to say, the very first thing you have to do is prepare for travel delays. And that sets your mind frame correct. It sets you in a little bit of, I'm going to keep a little extra gear with me in order to be able to entertain myself or my family or my children as we're undergoing delays at the airport or at the connecting airport, etc. Number three, in terms of getting prepared for travel, is to make sure that you have prepped yourself with the appropriate clothing in case you get stuck someplace where it is not as warm or not as cool as you were expecting. So prepare for that. I always recommend you carry a little extra bag, and all of you know, you're traveling, you're going to take everything in a pack-aboard bag. Anybody who travels a lot knows that you have to have 1 day's worth of clothing in your carry-on, and whatever form of carry-on that you have, there's 1 day's worth of stuff and a little bit of emergency supplies in case you get stuck somewhere. So please consider that. Then, in prepping for your trip, if you're going to somewhere warmer, if you can get any sun preparedness beforehand, that helps your skin so that when you arrive in a place like Florida or Texas or Arizona or California, that you can go out into the sun, but not try to overdo it the first day. If you can prep yourself with a little bit of sun exposure intentionally while you're at home, make sure that you do that. Make sure you drink plenty of fluids. That helps you during your travel, and it helps prep you for warmer temps when you get there. Make sure that you bring your sunblock. And what's really important, you cannot block all of the sun's rays that your body's gonna want to absorb the first day you're out in the sun. And it is almost it's almost irresistible when you're here in Florida. That first day the sun is right there and you're like, this feels so very good, and then you realize you got too much sun, and that night you're feeling very, very uncomfortable. I'm just going to warn you, you can't slather enough sunblock on that first day. So make strategic use of clothing and of hats and of a little break in the sun after a period of time a lot shorter than it was last September when you were last out in the sun. So little 20-minute bursts of activity in the sun, and then into the shade for a little bit, a nice coating of sunblock on all of those areas. And we see people this time of the year that really get burned badly on their face, on the top of their head if they don't have a complete hair cover. They get their legs and other pieces of their body that haven't seen sunshine in ages, and they get burned really bad. And it ruins the rest of their vacation. That's the really important note. When you're here, don't drink too much too quick in terms of alcohol. The alcohol can also ruin the rest of your trip. In terms of you having a significant hangover the next day and not being able to enjoy anything. What you do want to drink plenty of is fluids here. And again, a little bit of water, but a little bit of electrolytes and calories to keep that aboard. As you're going home, prepare again for travel home and any potential delays. This time of the year, sometimes these flights are so full, people have an extra day or more in their vacation place. And, this time of year, many times the employers are okay with that. But unless you've prepped ahead and thought about the potential for it, you can really become disquieted. And we don't want that to happen. We then acclimate as we take our days here. And each day you can get a little bit more sun and you can have a little bit more fun. That last night, don't try to drink that one extra margarita or pina colada or another umbrella drink while you're here, because that makes a trip home very bad. And if you're throwing up on the airplane, I'm just going to tell you, they're not going to let you get on it or stay on it. So please travel safely, enjoy the warm weather, travel because it's fun to get out. Even at home, acclimate yourself to the temps as quick as you can. It is mid-March, and it's fortunate we're talking about that rather than another blizzard coming across the country or something. So stay healthy, stay happy. DocTalk, mid-March. Take care of yourself. Thanks.